You know, it's not a first world country, so you don't think first world, you think third world. And by thinking third world, you have to think outside the box. So we were thinking outside the box, how can we get all of these people who have money but don't want to put it in their bank, you know, how can we get them to still transact online and improve whatever it is that they want to improve in their lives or in their community?
Hello, this is Marco Rock. Welcome to Marco Rock TV. I'm Marco, your host for Inside a Great Mind, where we interview entrepreneurs, game changer achievers for the purpose to inspire and inform you. Today we're so honored to have Mr. Chris Folayan on the show. Chris, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good to have you.
Thank you.
So who's Chris Folayan?
That's a good question. Proud, born and raised Nigerian,
Okay.
Who came to the States to go to college. And since I've been here, I've started and founded a few companies. And
Only a few, you said?
A few. A few. And yeah, I've done really well. But now I think my claim to fame is being the founder and CEO of a company called Mall for Africa and another one called Marketplace Africa. But I think Mall for Africa is a pretty well recognized e-commerce platform.
So let's talk a little more about Mall for Africa.
Yeah.
What inspires you to start that company and the impact it is making now?
Well, what inspired me to start the company is interesting because being a Nigerian, whenever you're going back home, people are always asking you to bring stuff.
Okay.
You know, so you tell somebody, hey, I'm coming back to Lagos, and you get this nice laundry list of items that people want you to bring. So the list started getting longer and longer and longer and longer, and I ended up trying to check into a flight, Delta flight in San Francisco, and the lady looked at me and she said, "You're not getting on this flight with 10 suitcases."
Are you serious?
Yes.
So you had 10
suitcases
for yourself?
No, not for myself.
I
was the one transporting all the goods because so many people had asked me to buy stuff. So yeah, I was turning into my own I guess major department store for people.
Wow.
So couldn't catch the flight, but I think the light bulb went off that day, and
so the refuse category.
I did not go.
For real?
I did not go. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So that flight, yeah, I didn't make that trip. But that basically raised threw off the switch for a light bulb that just said, you know what, you need to come up with something. It was at my house, exactly, exactly. And yeah, so started working on building a platform and an app to allow people in Africa to buy products from the US and the UK, and we've just expanded significantly since then. So we started in Nigeria, now we're all over Africa.
What are the major retailer company in the US that you work with in terms of people can buy stuff from that live in Africa?
Yeah. Naming anyone would be pretty interesting because they're over 200.
Really?
Yeah, they're actually.
I thought you were gonna say like 15 or
No. They're actually 267.
Okay, so let's say if I'm in Africa right now, let's say I'm in Kenya, Nigeria, I want to buy something from eBay or Amazon. Can I do that through the platform?
Absolutely. eBay, Amazon, Macy's, Nordstrom's, Neiman Marcus, Ralph Lauren, Louis Vuitton, you name it.
You got it all.
We got it all on our platform.
And how long does it take somebody like, let's say I place an order today?
Yep.
How long does it take for me to receive maybe my watch, my pair of shoes?
Yeah. So what we tell people is it takes 3 days from the day we receive it in our warehouse. So we get the product in our warehouse, and then it takes about 3 days for you to get to it. So
if
it takes us 2 days to get to our warehouse, so 2 plus 3 will be 5. So it'll be about 5 days. So on average, it's about a week and a half for people to get products.
So I just heard you say that you're growing in Africa. So what are the main country that you are, and what are the projections for the future for us?
Yeah, well, right now we're in quite a few countries, but the main country in Africa obviously is Nigeria. Nigeria is and always will be one of the, I guess, the countries in Africa that consumes the most and has the highest purchasing power. They are the richest country on the continent. Okay. So Nigeria is number one, and then we do pretty well in Kenya, Rwanda, South Africa. Those are really strong markets, but we're expanding. We have some major partnerships that we've actually announced that we're expanding. So we're going to be across pretty much all of Africa shortly, but Nigeria is
a man, yeah. So people hearing this interview must like, wow, Chris has done well. It must be very easy, to just create that app. What are the challenges, not just for you as a business owner, through your platform, but in general that you face through your journey that you can share with somebody who's out there thinking about hey, I want to do an app, I want to do something like a technology.
Yeah. First of all, it's not easy.
You sure?
Not. I'm 100%.
How you
awesome.
made it? I mean, it seems like it's easy for you.
It's not easy. I mean, it's sleepless nights. It's almost going crazy many times. But I think what people need to understand is, doing business in Africa is not easy at all.
Okay.
But it's a very viable market to do business in. You just have to be patient, and you have to know that there are going to be times where you're struggling and things are not going to go right, because there are many things that just don't follow that one path if you're working in Africa. So we had challenges with shipping, for example. Many products in the beginning, we had issues with shipments being delayed, being stopped at customs and all of that. So we've had that. We had theft back in the days when we first started. Things were missing. So we had to put quite a few things in place to prevent delays and theft. And then there are payment issues. One of the things we did in the beginning, because many people are unbanked, which means they don't have bank accounts.
Okay.
So we didn't want the platform to only be for the middle class and upper class. We wanted everybody, the taxi drivers, the motorcyclists, whoever you may be, whatever class you may be, we wanted to give them the opportunity to buy from the platform and improve their lives and improve the lives of the people around them. So we created a platform called the Mall for Africa web card. So it was 100% created by us, and it allowed people who were unbanked to still do transactions online.
Okay.
So imagine if you have no bank accounts, but you want to buy something from Macy's or Nordstrom's or wherever it may be, you can actually go to any of the local banks, deposit the local currency into the bank. Before you walk out of the bank, it will load on your account, and then you can.
This happen in Africa?
Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
100%. Yeah.
You sure this happened in Africa?
I'm 100% sure. That's how we grew. Yeah, but I mean, you have to. That's the thing about Africa, right? You have to think outside the box, come up with ideas that can make it work for that environment. It's not a first world country, so you don't think first world, you think third world. And by thinking third world, you have to think outside the box. So we were thinking outside the box, how can we get all of these people who have money, but don't want to put it in their bank, how can we get them to still transact online and improve whatever it is that they want to improve in their lives or in their community. So we came up with this platform, and it's done very, very well for us. So visa, no visa, doesn't matter. You can still buy.
Chris, you can do business with Chris.
Yeah, you can still do business with the platform.
With the platform. It's funded by Chris, kind of. So yeah, that's awesome. So you are a global strategist.
Yeah.
What does that mean, actually?
Good question. It means I can think outside the box and try and figure out how you can actually reach a global market. So we started with Mall for Africa, so we're just thinking about Africa. And then we started getting requests on, okay, well, people in UAE, in Saudi, in Bahrain, Qatar, in India, they want to start, buying products from you, how can we do that? So we actually ended up creating another platform called Mall for the World, and we sell
to answer those
products to answer the questions for those people. Like, how can we do it? Like, you can use us, you can use our platform. You're not in Africa anymore, so we'll call it more for the world. So it's doing that, and it's being a global strategist is also mentoring and helping companies in different countries all over the world expand and look at e-commerce or cross-border trade from a global lens and not really from that tiny regional lens. Many people think e-commerce and they're just thinking about either their country, their city, their town, and I think a global strategist is one that comes and says, no man, the world is here for the taking. You know, think about the world, don't think about just tiny niches. Yeah.
So what I love the most about you, you're very successful in your own term, but you're also very humble. Who is that one person out there that either influence you or inspire you to be the person you are today?
I would say my parents.
Okay.
I would say my parents, hands down. No need to think about that one. My parents are very, very humble people. They've taught me and my brothers to be humble, to just be humble, because we grew up from humble backgrounds and beginnings, and went to a boarding school at a very young age that was not a top-tier boarding school at all, where you have to go fetch your water and wash your clothes in a bucket, you know. So we never forget that, and I never forget that part of me. So I always try and ensure that I stay grounded no matter what.
Yeah. If you have the power to make one positive change, to create one positive change in the world right now, what would that be?
The power to make one positive change in the world. I think it would be something that we're working on right now, which is helping the SMEs and the small and middle class people, lower and middle class in African countries, helping them expose whatever products that they're making, expose it to the rest of the world. So we have a platform that we've launched. It's called Marketplace Africa, and that's what it's for. So it's my response to what can you do for us Africans, you know, to help us Africans. Yes, you brought Ralph Lauren to Africa. Yeah, yippee, yippee, yippee. Okay, cool.
Then what?
Then what? So what are you doing for us? You know, okay, Ralph Lauren is here, I'm wearing Ralph Lauren, okay, I'm good, you know, but what about me? What about my family back home in the village, you know, in my community? What can we do for them? So Marketplace Africa is a platform that helps them reach people in the US and in Europe, you know. So we've helped many people, women, mostly women. We've helped them sell their clothes, you know, shoes that they've made, purses. We've helped expose them
to
the US. And they never, ever in their wildest dreams would have thought that, you know, somebody in a tiny market, in a tiny state in Nigeria will be selling to somebody in New York. Never in their wildest dreams. So that opens up their minds and opens up the minds of the people in that community.
That's awesome.
So that's what we're doing. And
Chris, if you have one piece of advice, tip to my audience, what would that be?
Never stop dreaming big. Dream big and don't stop dreaming big, because I think if you dream small, you might not have that angst and that drive to do something even bigger. So I think big and know that there are going to be challenges along the way, but you can make it. You know, if somebody is going to make it, why can't it be you? There's just no reason why it can't be you. It's not a matter of, for me, I don't think it's a matter of intelligence. I don't think it's a matter of the pedigree, school you went to and all that. It's just how much do you have in you to think big and actually execute on that. And just go through all the fires, go through all the hurdles, climb all the mountains.
Go through all the fires and hurdles.
Yeah. And just make it.
Chris, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you. Thanks.